This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to yet another broadcast. I warmly welcome each and every one of you. The time this is being recorded at is 1:08 a.m. Sunday, July the 20th, 2014. When shall this be uploaded? I have yet to say. Maybe later tonight, maybe 20 hours from now, 24 hours. Probably, maybe I'll give you something to start off your Monday, right? Start off the work week, start off the Monday. So we're going to pretend that this is being uploaded on a Monday, right? This will be at your doorstep, your fictional internet doorstep, hot and fresh Monday morning, right? So, anyway, I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you all spent it well. I hope you enjoyed it, really, I was going to say I hope you had a good productive weekend, but then I thought about it and I realized that if I said that, I'd be a hypocrite because I really didn't do that much at all this weekend. But I hope you had a fun weekend. I hope you, enjoyed it at least. Enjoyed your 2 days off, right? Maybe 7 days. Whatever you did. You just partied all weekend. Well, hope you had fun. If you screwed around on the computer like me, I hope you made the most of it. If you did anything else, hope it all went well. My weekend was, it was standard, okay? Now, once again, I have yet to experience this Sunday. Alright, but we're going to pretend everything went well, so we'll just base it off of what happened Saturday. But thus far, my weekend was alright. Solid, if you want to say. What did I do? I woke up a little early, actually. I had trouble falling asleep. I don't know why, but I did. I couldn't fall asleep until a little bit after maybe 7:30 a.m. Normally, I fall asleep between 5 and 6 now, but I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't fall asleep. What can you do? All right. I couldn't fall asleep for whatever reason, so I woke up actually a little earlier too, so I didn't get the best sleep. I fell asleep at like 7:30 a.m. and I woke up at 2 p.m. All right. So what's that? Solid. 6.5 hours. It's good enough at least to keep it going through the day, but keeps me going. So I figured now, since I'll be a little tired, I'll be able to go to sleep normal time and reset the schedule, if you will. Other than that, though, I did pretty much what I usually do. I went ahead and ordered, once again, Pizza Hut for lunch. I figured since the Cheesy Bites pizza is only going to be around for a limited time, I may as well make the most of it while it's still around. So I did indeed. Got the Cheesy Bites pizza. Got some Wing Street wings, some breadsticks, and then they actually had a special deal going on. So I got the Ultimate Hershey's Chocolate Chip Cookie. What is that? Is that like a cookie? Well, I don't know if you remember this, about 8 months ago or so, I did a review of Papa John's. I think it was my first Papa John's review, maybe my second. I don't know if I did a second Papa John's review. Maybe just one. But I had their pizza, and they had this thing, it was a giant cookie. It was a cookie pizza. Smaller than a pizza, of course, but it was a cookie pizza. I think they still have it. And it was a new thing, so I reviewed it. Well, don't you think Copycat Pizza Hut has the same exact thing, and I'm surprised that Papa John's hasn't had any sort of lawsuit against them yet, since it's literally the exact same thing. It even comes in the same little pie tray and everything. Tastes the same, but it's Hershey's, right? That changes the game. Got Hershey's behind their back, but I was thinking about doing a review for their cookie thing, but then I thought about it and thought, it's just a cookie, And I always like to look, before I do a review on something new like that, I always go online, and I don't watch the videos because that would give me an unfair advantage. But I just always look to see if other people have reviewed it before me. If they have, I feel, alright, well, I'm not the only one. But when it's something like this, I think it's just a cookie, you know? You already know what it's going to taste like. It's going to taste like a chocolate chip cookie. It's not going to taste like pineapples or something. At least I don't think. I've already had a few slices, but I don't think. No, just chocolate chips in there. So that was the highlight of my day. It was a fine meal, feast, a literal feast, if you will. For one person, that's a lot of food. You might be thinking, look at me, I'm a skeleton. I'm a living skeleton right now. You know, I don't have too much fat. At least I don't think. I could beg to differ, but I've been... I never thought I was on the portly side, but you might think there's a lot of food for someone like this. But I make it last. And here's how I do it. I just spend the money on that one meal and it lasts me for at least 3 meals. Here's how. I completely disregard the chocolate chip cookie and the breadsticks. I don't even touch them during lunch. Or meal 1, if you will. I immediately dig into the pizza. Okay? And I eat about almost every slice, if not the entire pizza. Then I take a break. Then I heat up the wings. I have those as my next meal. With some of the breadsticks. You could heat that up too. See, the pizza, I really don't like heating up the pizza for whatever reason. I feel that detracts from the taste. And then as dessert, I ate the cookie, or I'm eating it now. And it lasted me 3 meals. So we've been wasting 6 minutes of your time. Just see if we have any other introductory things we have to clear up. Not to my knowledge, I once again was taking my walk tonight. First, I listened to a favorite radio show of mine called The Mighty KBC. They broadcast on shortwave directed to North America from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday nights. And they play a variety of music, mostly like classic rock and all that stuff. But I mean, some of those guys, some of those groups out there that they played were complete legends and extremely talented. And I always listen to the first hour, and then I leave at 9 and take my walk. But it was a fine walk. Got some good exercise. I burned off that pizza. Yeah, right. And but it was solid overall. And after that, I went back to the base right here at the computer, and I've been there ever since. Right. So before we open up our mailbag, let me get my glass of water. Empty glass of water, mind you. And let's get a glass of water right now, okay? You might be wondering, because you know I've done this in more than one show. You might be wondering, lecturer, reviewer, aren't you more prepared? And I figure, well, I do these on the spot, and I'm not gonna stop and take the time to make sure that my water glass is full or anything like that. I just, I don't know, I just try to do it with authenticity. I don't try to make this show something that it's not. You know? Nothing's perfect, mind you. Okay. Let's make sure we're recording here. You know, one time, a couple months ago, when we were first starting, I was doing a show, and I realized, oh my gosh, wasn't recording. And I lost a good, I'd say, 20 minutes of VORW goodness. So, it's not happening again. Not that I think. But, at least not here. Just remembered I didn't have any caffeine today, so... Oh well. It's too late. Too late. Deal with it. Deal with it, boyo. Fair enough. So let's open up our mailbag. Let's figure out where we previously left off. But you know, once again, if I miss your message, let me know. Send it to me again, stating you missed it, and I will certainly, reread it. Alright, sounds good. Sounds like a plan to me. Okay, Alright, we're leaving off here, okay? This is, okay. So we're starting here. If I missed yours, I apologize. Hello. Just wanted to compliment you on your quite swanky suit in your G-Shot review. Have a great day, my friend, and keep up with the videos. I'm a long-time viewer and can listen to you for hours. Thanks for the great content and personality. God bless. From Emerson. Thank you for your kind remarks. Really do appreciate it, and I appreciate your compliments for the for my sartorial choice for my G-Shot review. A nice suit for a terrible beverage, that's for sure. Okay. Would you do a video with some of your Hawaiian picks? Also, you nailed it with the suit Energy Drink Review 101, how a man should dress. Thank you once again. Absolutely, you could check the beginning of the previous VORW. Now it's the most recent one. Not for long, once this is up. But you could check the beginning of that VORW show, and they're there. They are there. And once again, I thank you for your compliments. Aloha. If I recall correctly, in previous lectures, you briefly mentioned that you meditate. So when you could give me more insight on the process, where, when, and how. The more specific, the better. Thanks. Well, now, what I like to do, and of course this will lead to deeper thought, but after a long day, right? Especially when you have anxiety like me. I mean, I could just be sitting here in a docile state right now and could have the leg bouncing a mile a minute and all of that. It's a good workout, by the way, if that ever happens to you. A leg day all in one. But, what I like to do sometimes after a long day, after a difficult day, whatever, if I have a lot on my mind, I'll sit myself down in a quiet room, hopefully with a comfortable choice of seating. Now, of course, I sometimes portray, and this is much deeper, of course, but this I feel really helps helps right on the spot. Of course, everyone today is all for instant gratification, so this is, to a degree, just that. I'll sit in a very comfortable chair. I will close my eyes. And it's very, very simple. And it also helps clear the mind and open it up to really start thinking, if you will. It's a very, very simple thing to do. It's called the sevenfold breath. Now, you might say, come on, you said you meditate. This is freaking breathing exercises. But it really helps, and trust me, it does. I actually knew someone, still do actually, I don't know why I said knew, he's not dead. Know someone, my Canadian acquaintance, he lives up in Canada, he actually introduced me to that, and truly it actually changed his life around. I'm not trying to sell anything, you know that, but I actually saw it happen over the years with my own eyes. Actually, when he started doing that, it really actually changed things around for him for the better, and I thought that was absolutely great. But it's called the sevenfold breath, and all you need to do is close your eyes, breathe in for 7 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale for 7 seconds. And do that for about 10 minutes. If you could set a little timer, you could do that, or you could just do it as long as you feel comfortable doing it. And number 1, you're concentrated on counting in your mind 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on to 7. Completely clears your mind. And afterwards, you're completely relaxed, in a completely relaxed state than you were before. And that, usually right after that, I usually examine my quandaries that I face for the day, or week, or however long, and that's when I start thinking and maybe whatever, and start getting down to the solution of problems. I know a good meditation. If it's not really meditation, but when I take my night walks, it's been proven, or not been proven, but other people have also said that when you walk at night, it really does help, clear your mind, if you will. It's another great way to do it, and get some exercise at the same time. I could go on and on about it. Hey there again. I really liked your suit in today's energy crisis. You looked really nice in it, and the colors really suit you. No pun intended. Also, you get literally all of my respect for going in for a second sip of G-Shot, or whatever it was called. I doubt I could have done that. Sometimes it truly surprises me that stuff like that even makes it past product testing and onto the shelves. Seriously. I've had some pretty raunchy energy drinks in my day. Well, I'll talk to you later, I suppose. Take care. Once again, I really do thank you for for compliments on my sartorial choice in that review. Broke out the seersucker suit in that video, the first time wearing that in about a year. But I thought the tie went really well with that suit, so I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's go for it. But yeah, that G-Shot, I'll tell you, that was awful. I mean, it was terrible. It was honestly just awful. And let me tell you this, I'm never getting that again. Not for a while. Last night, I was actually watching some television. And I saw a very interesting commercial. Get a load of this. I haven't reviewed this in a very long time. I'm talking 3 years. But 5-Hour Energy. They were really big in the early 2010s. They were just coming on the shelves and all that. And they're making a big deal out of it. And it was awful. It was one of the worst tasting little energy shots I've had. Didn't even last for 5 hours at all. So, 5-Hour Energy, they're having some sort of thing called a yummification contest. And I laughed so hard at that because that just, what they're paying you to do, they said, alright, we'll give like $100,000 if you make a video mixing 5-Hour Energy with another sort of beverage to make it taste better. And I laughed so hard because they finally accepted fate that it doesn't taste good. And, that's really something. Moving on. Hello, I'm a fellow New Yorker. Just wanted to say I love your reviews. Whenever I see you've uploaded a new review, my brother and I grab some snacks and gather around the computer to watch it. I particularly love the most recent Energy Crisis review of G-Shot. It was brutally honest and hilarious to see your reaction when you took the first sip. Out of curiosity, do you watch any other YouTube reviewers, aside from your videos? I also love Robert Dyer's reviews. He does a great job of a great comical twist. Anyway, keep up the work. Godspeed. That was from Dom. Thank you for compliments. YouTube reviewers. I do, actually. I have a little block. I don't trade with any of them. I don't know why I said block. BLOC. But I have a little group of reviewers which I watch. Of course, there's Spicy Carl Assessment. He's another well-dressed gentleman. And I really do like his work. I recommend it. Robert Dyer, of course, I've subscribed to him. Another great reviewer. I think he's a politician, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least some sort of councilman. But good reviews there also. Another channel which I like is one called 2 Minute Reviews. And I haven't watched a lot of their stuff, but what I have I liked. Hence the name. All of their reviews are pretty much 2 minutes long. And they got a little thing going. And I like that. Now, there's a big channel going up. I'm sure you've heard of it. Called Joey's World Tour. Now, trust me when I say this. I have personally spoken with him. I've communicated with him. I've personally spoken with this guy. He's one of the nicest guys I know. He's a really nice guy, professional, and a really fun guy. When I corresponded with him. But just the style of his reviews, I'm just not a fan of at all. Especially the intro, that always gets me. I'm back! back. But I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of the Joey. But certainly other people are, so, you know, all the best to him. Hey man, I really enjoyed the reviews. I was wondering if you've tried Shaq Soda. It's a line of cream sodas endorsed by Shaquille O'Neal. Only available at 7-Eleven stores, which we do not have where I live, and I'd love to see a review. Got a 7-Eleven nearby, so I'll see what I can do, my friend. Hi, I enjoy your reviews as well as your VOW shows. I prefer Papa John's pizza to Domino's and Pizza Hut. Are there any Papa John's restaurants near you? If so, I'd love to see a review of their pizza. Keep up the good work. Diane. And we got one nearby. It's a little inconvenient to access, but it's all there. It's definitely there. And maybe I'll get another review up. You know, but it's a little difficult to access. A little difficult turning off the parking lot because it's on a crowded street. What I really wish I could review is Little Caesars. They got so many offers. They got their hot and ready pizzas, which actually look kind of decent. I really would like to try that deep dish pizza of theirs. For what, like $8? It's cheap, I know that. I really want to try that. It looks pretty good. But guess what? You know where it's conveniently located? It's literally in the worst neighborhood in a solid 20-mile radius. It's awful. You know, so it's inconvenient to get to, I'm sure. The crime rate is through the roof. I'm not going in there. With all due respect. Hey, brah. Thanks for your videos. Thank you for your comment, and I will keep making videos. You remember that guy in the last VORW who sent me that cryptic message that I was laughing at? He's back. Dear Pilgrim, you honor me. You're very beautiful. Oh, thank you. I offer you 100 prayers for your safety. Find help in these are, verses from the Bible. John, chapter 6, verse 22, 8, verse 16, 9, verse 1, Luke, chapter 1, verse 7, 3, verse 1, Galatians 6, verse 11, 15, verse 2, Acts 3, verse 3, Revelation 18, verse 1, and Jonah, chapter 6, verse 8. And that was his message. He left me a bunch of Bible verses to read, I suppose, for my safety. I'm curious if he actually picked those out, or if he actually went through a Bible and looked that up. That is yet to be determined. Hello, I'm still here. I've been watching since Shogun. Have a good one, man. Oh, no way. Yeah, I remember you. I remember that name. Hey, nice to see you again. Also, you shouldn't call people idiots for doing what they like on vacation. No need for judgment, man. I think he was referring to those degenerates on top of that mountain. So I actually personally replied to him. I wrote him back. I said, well, simply looking at a picture may not provide as much information about the situation. I said, if you were up there with me, seeing it with your own eyes, the utter disrespect of those degenerates through their words and actions, calling them idiots would be an understatement. But I do understand where you're coming from with that. I go by a policy of forgiving and forgetting. What I said was what I said, and that was the end of it, and I'd actually forgotten about it until just now. Regards, the report of the week. So I did personally write him back. He has yet to respond, but let it be known what I said to them and what I said to him was not to be taken in vain at all. Dear Report of the Week, in your latest VORW said that you made 2,500 accounts in RuneScape in order to advertise your channel. I was wondering if this had anything to do with the mysterious RuneScape account RW Observer. Well, I didn't think anyone would bring that up. RW Observer. Now that's something that that's actually made me a bit nervous from time to time. I have nothing to do with that account, but I actually have monitored that account for some time. Can I tell you a little story for those of you who might have played the game at some point in time? Or you could just look it up, maybe know of the game. This is legitimately a little creepy. There's this account in the game RuneScape. I don't know if it's still there or not. That had the name of RW Observer. Now, if you don't know, some of my shortwave stuff and all that also features the title RW, but that was subsequently named Radio Wave, or here, Report of the Week, and has nothing to do with it. It was just a coincidence with, names. But this guy, RW Observer, is a pretty creepy account. All he does is just stands there, in-game, 24/7. That's it. That doesn't sound so bad. But then you have to realize, at first there are many people wondering, oh, this guy has to be some sort of bot or some sort of program. But then, at any given time, any time of the day, be it 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 7 p.m., you go up to that account, which would never move and never speak. But you could go up to that account and talk to it, and it would respond to your questions and answers, and by doing little emotions like waving or whatever, or jumping up and down and stuff, proving that there was someone behind a computer somewhere operating this account and keeping it logged into the game manually 24 hours a day. Knowing that there was someone sitting there observing, whatever you were doing in the game. And of course it was just in one location, but I thought that was a bit creepy. And what makes it even a little more creepier is that at least this person's been doing it since 2009, every single day for 24 hours. So I really find that something. That's a true anomaly, if you will. There's a good Wikipedia page, which I helped contribute some information about. But that's something. But no, I don't have anything to do with that account, but I am aware of it. I actually first knew of it in 2011, I believe, when for those of you that play the game, the location was the clan camp, something called that. We could make a clan, friends or whatever. I wasn't interested in that. But I still had my advertising campaign there, so I would set up an advertising account in there, spamming over and over again the Report of the Week, search the Report of the Week on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And I noticed there was this one account that was always standing there, no matter when I logged in to advertise. So that's how I first knew about it. Thought that was something. Alright, listen, we're about to finish up with fan mail. The time is almost 1:36 a.m. And then we'll get on with the lecture. We've got a solid 30 minutes to talk. Alright? Hi there. I noticed in your G-Shot video that you had Sambas on in the background. That's one of my favorite energy drinks, and I'm pretty eager to hear what you think of it. Yep. Got it in my hand right now. Organic Sambazon and Amazon Energy. Gently carbonated. We'll definitely get to it, my friends. Do not fret, do not fear. Because we shall review it on Energy Crisis one day. Soon. One day soon. P.S. You should review Summer Red Bull. Have it at most 7-Eleven. 2 drinks I gotta pick up now at 7-Eleven. P.S. I like your videos. P.S. Nice suits and ties. Hey, thank you for everything. I do, and, I'm just as eager as you are to see the review. I'm as eager to review it. So we'll definitely get that taken care of at some point. And last, hopefully not least, hey, Report of the Week. I would really appreciate for you to come visit my new upcoming website. We are a streaming website dedicated to entertaining the viewers. We have all agreed that you would be a great candidate in our search for people who know how to deliver content. Check it out. So, gave me a link. Checking it out.
More than a tour, more than a show. It's a state-of-the-art moving theater where the streets...
The website name is, don't know how to... Oh. Wow. Joowz.com. It's, JOOWZ.com. It's a streaming website, apparently. We could pick whatever you want to watch. But, That's what I think it is. There's a chat box in here. Who knows what they're talking about? A lot of ads, but they're showing videos. Looks like there's someone in an ambulance there. Wonder if it's a gore video or something. Who knows? There's 9/11. Maybe it's a conspiracy video or something. Who knows? But if you wish, you may check it out, and I will look into it in depth, my friend. That's joowz.com. Alright, people. I think everything's settled in there. Assuming we don't get any more stuff, any more messages. And remember, contentness is a word. Found that out from our folks over at Reddit. And I thank you for clearing that up. I do. So thank you for that. Now we begin the lecture. History of my channel, part 4, I believe it is. I believe. We will continue talking about the history of my channel. Starting off at the Idle Mind, episode School, or the conclusion thereof. And finishing, hopefully, at the conclusion of the whole affair in early 2013. But once again, this is the most significant events in my channel's history, if you will. So, once again, the school episode is locked. No longer there for reasons I said in the last show, and it will no longer be there. I know some of you are very good people, and I was thinking, well, since it's private, you could allow a select number of people to view it. I was thinking about doing that. Then I realized that someone with the link could just, or with permission, could just download it, and re-upload it, so that is not to happen. I apologize. Following episode 5 of The Idle Mind, episode 6 rolled around, which was another tasteless episode of mine, where we discussed prison. And I did bring that up, yes. I'm not going to say what, but you know something that's commonly associated with prison. Don't drop the soap. And there's me back then. Stupid. But we talked about prison. I made various comparisons between prison and school, which I read an article about, but popped a piece of bubble wrap there, that's what that was. But I made various comparisons between prison and school. Think of it as you will. Now I've made a few more lectures following that. We did an episode on deck furniture, episode on drinking glasses, not drinking straws, but drinking glasses. And then we, of course, did a complimentary lecture on our favorite arachnids, spiders. So, we did that. With, of course, a few energy drink reviews in between, every 3 or 4 lectures. Then we did pretty much a final Idle Mind lectures. We did a lot in a very short period of time. One almost every day. And then after that, I just stopped for a bit. And I did maybe 1 or 2 in 2013, but I still have yet to redo them. Start up again, if you will. But I hope to one day. But for now, this is as good as it gets. I'm still doing lectures, but audio now. So I did 2 more, and these came under scrutiny. One was of the public bus, and another reminiscing of years past, the school bus. So, of course, no matter what I say or do, people have to jump on top of it and assume it is something that it is not. And that's exactly what they did when they saw my public bus lecture, which I simply said I ride the public bus, because at the time I got screwed over with transportation to the establishment, the institution, and I had to find alternate means. Now I ride the public bus to go to the store and what have you. Saves on the gas, if you know. But at the time, I talked about the public bus and its advantages and the disadvantages thereof of the school bus. But of course, when I compared the two, people had to immediately assume, oh, he's such a loser. Okay. And that was, of course, the ideology at the time. They thought he's so... What's a good word they used? This isn't a real phrase. We'll call it this. They said, oh, he's so autistic that he can't even ride the bus with his peers, because he's so ridiculed there. They had to jump to conclusions like that. In reality, that was not the case. But they had to make it that. Anything to insult me. So it came under scrutiny, but not as much, so I left the two up. But going back to 2012, at the time they were uploaded, both of them were very well received by the past audience. So, following that, we took a break. We returned to normalcy, in the great words of President Warren G. Harding. We returned to normalcy, just pumping out regular energy drink reviews. Things calmed down. And one day, that'll happen again, Everything that has a beginning has an end, and one day I'll take a break from from VORWs, and I'll take a break from food reviews, and I'll probably just bring it back to basics. But that day has yet to come. So for now, and for hopefully many more months, maybe even years to come, things will remain as they are for this channel. But things return to normal. Then I made a video that has 3,000 views for some weird reason. It's called Important Update. Please watch. I make an update video every now and then, and this was the first one I made. And I suppose I was on a brief break, an unexplained one at the time. I remember I had bronchitis then, so really when your vocal cords are affected and you're only coughing, and all of that, you really can't do anything. So I took a break for a couple weeks, and then I announced my return there. Following that, I tried out something new. A new video, mind you. Last video, we explained how I was trying out the idle mind. Okay, how that was a new type of video I was trying out. Or those food reviews 2 lectures ago. Well, now here's a new type that I was trying out. A random video. And I actually did 2 tests in a very short period of time. I did this first one, which I've actually done numerous times over. It's known as failing with darts. I'm sure at least a few of you have seen maybe the original, maybe my newer one, and maybe the newer one in the average day video. The failing with darts video was genuine. What do you mean when you say genuine? I went down on the spot. I had previously recorded a few matches, but I felt them not deemed worthy of uploading for various reasons. But this one I felt, I'll record. So I just shot some darts and did a bad job and uploaded it. Once again, this has 5,000 views. Came under scrutiny. But lecturer, why do you assume everything that has views, to some degree? Why do you assume everything that has views is instantly under scrutiny? Well, I have evidence to back that up. At the time, especially when my videos blew up on 4chan, I was there. Every single day I'd check in and read the threads and go along with them. So I knew what they were talking about, and I knew what they were criticizing. So, that's how I could back it up there. This video came under attack for what I did at the end. Now, even back then, I might have been a stupid kid, but I still had that little bit of satire, if you will, in me. I shoot the darts, and then at the very end of the video, pan around my basement. I shoot that. There's some crappy pop music playing in the background. Show the dartboard. So then I try to shut the video off, the camera off, and it doesn't shut off. And I figure, very quick process. I figure let's pretend to get extremely worked up over this. Something that no one in their right mind would get frustrated by. So I'm trying to shut the camera off, I make a little face, and I act all mad. And don't you think the suckers fell for it on 4chan? And they thought, wow, this guy's genuinely retarded, or what have you. I'm really not. But they thought I was, because I pretended to act all upset because the camera wouldn't shut off. So I figure that I think of that as extremely saddening by them. But they fell for it. What are you gonna do? I left that up too. If I could, I'd be taking down lots of these videos, but I no longer do. Just had to set an example with 2 of them. Sorry about that, just had to loaded up some paper into the printer there. So, and that was another one that struck out. Following that, once again, we returned back to normal. 2 weeks, 2 energy drink reviews. Then we did another test. We decided to just have fun on the camera. It's called Eating Pizza Hut Breadsticks. It's really, not too many of the views are recent. It has about 20,000 hits. Eating Pizza Hut Breadsticks, the title being. Where one day I was at the mall. That's when I still actually went outside. Nowadays, I would never go to the mall. Too many people there who would just ruin my day. So, at the time I went to the mall and got a few breadsticks from Pizza Hut and had a Pizza Hut Express there. Got a few breadsticks. And I thought, let me just have some fun while I'm eating lunch. So I just set them up and chewed away at them. And I just made various comments and remarks. And I just had fun there. And I think with that one, actually, my audience had a little fun with that too, and got a few laughs out of it. Then came a pause. You see, after Pizza Hut Breadsticks, if you're following along, I have the videos page open. I'm looking at this. There's a little pause, and following this Pizza Hut Breadsticks video comes the acclaimed, the godly, the absolutely amazing, incredible Domino's Pan Pizza, running on empty. Food review. The review that started this mess. Trying to act all dramatic here, but I don't think it's working. Now, I could, of course, skip right to it. But this is the first. There's something that happens before it. No one knows about it, but I'm going to say it now. Something happens before it that actually started a chain of events. That if that never happened, I would not be standing at this microphone talking to any of you right now. And it would still most likely be exactly as it were in 2012, with a small audience, and that same stupid mindset, assuming nothing else drastically changed. But what? What happened? Get a load of this. Alright. Brace yourselves, get the popcorn, get the water, get the Monster Energy, get the G-Shot, whatever your beverage is. Sit back in that good old comfy chair and get ready for a good story, okay? This might go over an hour, but who cares? This is when it starts getting good. You recall, back in 2011, in my first energy drink... what am I talking about energy drink reviews? My first lecture on this topic, on the history of my channel. I brought up how I used to do shoutouts. Well, we learned our lesson once, okay, back in 2011. When people were taking my words out of my mouth and, using them against me, if you will. Or maybe images with that, whole hand motion deal. So, when it really came to it, the shout-out thing had all but died down in early 2012. Through 2011 and 2012, the whole shout-out thing had really died down. But then, a new generation of viewers had arrived, younger kids. I'm talking literally freaking 13-year-olds here. Now, I might have said this in the first one, but you know how children are nowadays. And I don't speak for all of them, but many of them just want to either embarrass or insult others in any way possible. And that exactly was how they were. Don't you think they discovered my old videos, where I would sometimes read shoutouts? And don't you think the whole load of them wanted shoutouts again? And it was just like 2011 all over again. Except this time the people who I were giving the shoutouts to were younger and stupider. And I know that one guy said to me in the mail, don't call people idiots. But these people were idiots. And I had to deal with them every single day for months. So believe me, they were. But it was like 2011 all over again. And they wanted their shoutouts. They wanted their precious shoutouts, right? The world's gonna end if they don't get their shoutouts on the Report of the Week's channel. So it was just like 2011 again, except with little kids now. But of course, because I had my stupid mindset back then, I was on top of things. I'm the king. I got this. I could do whatever I want. I felt, yeah, why the hell not? So, I started giving them shoutouts. I once again, just like 2011, brought out a little pen and pad and said, here, take this with your friends and give it back to me in a few hours with anything you want on the show, and I will read it. So, don't you think? Comes back. Now, when I say a new generation of kids, what? But these guys are only like, 4 years younger than you? Yeah. But, think of this. 4 years could be a big difference. Maybe it's just the way I was raised up. It was the way they were. But these kids, they were young, All they knew, I'm not saying this is a bad thing or a good thing, all they knew, though, was the internet. And they were different people than me. They were completely different people. And while the first shout-outs back in 2011 were nice ones, they were like, could you give a shout-out to, Joe and Jack and so-and-so, and, all this and that. These shout-outs were bad. I don't know if I could even, the few I remember, I can't even repeat any of them on this show. They were that bad. Each and every one of them, when I read that list over, at least, had the F word used once, if not more. F this, F that, F who, F this, F that, F you, F so-and-so. All that. So-and-so is an asshole. Many worse words than that, of course. They used every single swear word they could think of. Maybe they did that on purpose, maybe they didn't. I think it was just because they were that stupid and immature. And then comes my fault. I realized, back then, that's when I started the 2012 mindset. So I thought, when I looked at it, I thought, a little bit inside me said, do you have any dignity? Are you actually going to read these? Are you actually going to read this disgraceful, distasteful, disgusting, vulgar, mean shout-outs on the air that are potentially insulting and bullying others? Part of me said that. And you know how my mind responded to that? Of course! So, this big pen and paper. There must have been a good solid 30 of them. This big pen and paper full of them. I gladly set up one October fresh, maybe it was November, some fresh November afternoon. Set up a good old camera. And I read them. I read them exactly as they were written. just as they were. I read each and every one of those shoutouts. Nothing censored. All out. And of course, the next day when I came in, oh yeah, you're the man. You know, they were all coming up to me. High five, bro. They were so short, though, I really couldn't high five. But, oh yeah, I loved your video. And then they started wanting more. They already were asking for a new shout out video. So I said, alright, hold on a minute. Passed around the pen and paper. But then, that afternoon, I sat down and I rewatched the video. And that's when my conscience started speaking to me. Said, look at yourself here. You're promoting and bullying amongst these little kids. You're letting their insults be conveyed through you. You're the medium which they're getting it out to whoever, their intended audience. Are you really going to let them use you? They're just using you as a tool to get these disgusting, vulgar, mean, insulting, offensive shout-outs out to someone who they don't like. And believe me, they weren't just like, give a shout-out to Jack. It was like, so-and-so's a effing piece of S, you know? It was like that type of shout-out. And I looked at the new batch that I was supposed to make a video for, and I shook my head and I said, no. I said, I can't do this. Because I actually had some reasoning back then. I wasn't all that brain dead, but I was. I was stupid. And I'm not any smarter today, but I hope I have a little more common sense. But that's finally when a little bit of reasoning spoke in. I looked at what I had up, and I looked at what I was about to put up. Shook my head. I said, no more. I ripped up the pen and paper. I can't rip up a pen, of course. I ripped up the paper with all the shoutouts on it, shredded it, threw it away. I went up on YouTube, deleted the video, offered no apologies for deleting it. And, you know, the next day they came up there and said, no, what the hell, man? You know, where is it? And I just said, I just said it as it was. I said, I can't do shoutouts anymore. I'm sorry. And that ended that. Of course, they tried. They'd still pass it on a little pen and paper every now and then and say, here, could you give me a shout out? And I made sure they saw it. I just threw it right in the trash and I said, no, I don't give these anymore. What was my reasoning behind finally coming to my senses and taking that down? It was only up for about a day or two. I felt that was a day too long. Well, number one, I thought, it's not only these little kids that watch my videos. Of course, I had a small audience. There's still people who watch this. And right now, I bet they're shaking their heads and thought I expected better. Secondly, you don't know who else knows about this channel. You know, already I knew businessmen were watching this. Companies and what have you were watching this for the reviews. And then they saw this unprofessional act. No way. And many other things came into that. And it just wasn't, you know, morally right, if you will. I'm not saying that in a religious manner, it just wasn't right. So, I stopped with the shoutouts. Now, where does the pan pizza review come into this? At the same time, I said, you know, I'm done with the shoutouts. I need a break from the YouTube for a little bit. So, we stopped with the YouTube. At least I stopped. For a solid maybe 2-3 weeks. Maybe just a week. No, a few weeks. If I remember correctly. I took a break. I said, I can't do it. I need to stop. I need to take a break. I need to start reconsidering things. So that's exactly what I did. I took a break. Then I returned, I believe, maybe it was December 1st. December the 1st. Now listen, I've been standing for about 30 minutes, so you mind if I sit down? Stretching out the legs. Yes, it was uploaded December the 1st of 2012. Not 2013. Of course, not 2014, but 2012. Now, so how did this come in exactly? Well, at the time, Domino's was just releasing their new pan pizza. Just that month, it was replacing the archaic, failing deep dish pizza. Now, I actually like the deep dish pizza. I actually have an old video from 2011. Pre-Energy Crisis. I mean, this is like January of 2011, maybe late 2010, where I actually reviewed their pan pizza. This was before I even had a YouTube channel. I just did it to do it. Or their deep dish pizza, but I never uploaded it. I never did. Don't know if I will. Maybe I will one day. Speaking of, did I tell you about all the videos from Hurricane Sandy? Well, that's another story. That's for next episode. We'll be going back a little bit, but I'll tell you about those too. So, we're going to end at the top of the hour here. We'll cover the next show. At least it guarantees me at least a few more shows to talk about. Because I could talk about this greatly in depth. And I hope you could realize that. But anyway, the pan pizza was coming out very conveniently as soon as I was returning. And I thought, well, I order Domino's every week. Let us do our first true pizza review. Let's bring back the Running on Empty series. Let's bring it back with a bang. From the get-go, I reviewed the pizza. Let me tell you a little bit about the review itself. You know, as stupid as this may sound, that stupid pan pizza review, pan pizza, as I said in the review. Did you know that the pan pizza review was so substantial in my pathetic life that I actually remember sitting here? From the first person point of view, I remember sitting there, right there, in this chair, as I walk by around the table. I remember sitting there at that space, looking out, reviewing that pizza. I remember it. Clear as crystal, clear as day. I do recall it. It's pathetic, but anyway. So, from the get-go, the pizza review was actually pretty solid. My audience at the time, which these were the waning months of, my golden age, if you will, was still doing that. I was still happy during then. A little bit. Yeah. After what had just happened, I was a bit disappointed in myself. But my early audience really liked it. They did. And since the pan pizza was actually relatively new, it was being searched more on YouTube. People wanted to know what it tasted like. So, that video soon was almost becoming one of my most popular videos even at the time, ranking with about 500 views. Of course, so. I actually have a screenshot of my channel. It was an archive, but it was a screenshot nonetheless of my channel right before it blew up. Let's see how many views it had then. Can we find it? Yeah, here we go. Rep week before. Okay, had 631 views 4 weeks ago, it says right there. Listen, if you want, I actually have 2 screenshots of my channel right here. I have 2 screenshots of my old channel, back what it looked like in 2012. It's an archive, but it came out well. 2 screenshots of my early channel, which almost no one remembers, right here on my computer. I could easily upload them to some sort of image site. If you want to see them, include it in your fan mail. Say, would you please be able to send me the screenshots, and I will gladly oblige. All right. So please let me know if you want to see those. Gives you an early look at both YouTube and my channel at the time. So anyway, the pizza review, from what I considered, listen, when you look at those screenshots, some of the videos had 20 views, and I thought that was solid. So 600 views is a lot compared to 20. The pizza review had taken off. Even at the time. And once again, reception was pretty solid. Now, we're starting to get into December of 2012. Yeah, December of 2012. A very, very, very final moments of my golden age, which lasted from late, 2011 to early 2013. So, following the pan pizza review, we switched back to the older camera, which I still keep because I really like the quality on that. I hate this HD quality, I really do. I figure, come on, you don't need to see every pore of my flesh. You don't need to see every little strand of fabric of my tie. It's good enough. And listen, people say, oh yeah, he can't afford an HD camera. I got an HD camera sitting right upstairs. Free. I could pick it up and start filming anytime I wish. But I choose not to. I still use this old school camera this old school flip camera, probably from 07 or so. I still choose to, I use it by choice, and I plan on still using it. But once again, I recommissioned it then, following the pan pizza review. Now listen, the reasoning why I don't want to tell you too much about the pan pizza review is because it's going to be the big focus of the next show. Now I will tell you the suit that I was wearing. That's actually what literally caused it to blow up. The garment, the sartorial component, the jacket really. But my sartorial choice was what made it blow up. So, look at it right now. Look at what I was wearing. A 4-button suit jacket, a 4-button 3-piece suit. I've still worn that in recent videos. No one notices. No one says, hey, that's the suit you're wearing in the pan pizza video. Now, of course, I gave the impression that it was oversized. Would you like to know why? I was wearing a 4-button suit. Now, when was the last time you've seen a 4-button suit, if you could remember? Maybe the NBA draft back in 2002? That might be a good candidate right there. 4-button suits aren't worn too much anymore. All that's worn today are these really tight 2-button suits by idiots, by people. I think of them as making bad decisions by wearing them, but that's all up to them. People who choose to wear extra tight, extra slim fit suits because it apparently shows off all their features, right? Well, I was wearing an old style 4-button suit with every single button buttoned up. I didn't wear that by accident. I actually wore that on purpose for something. I'm not going to tell you why I wore it because it's, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you in my next video. That was late. Hey, keeping you on a cliffhanger, right? Yeah. That was so terrible. Alright, well, we'll leave it at that. Next show. What sparked a chain of events that monumentally changed both the history of my channel and changed my life, my mind, everything. Changed my life. The thing that changed this 2012 mindset which I had, which I've explained before. I could say what I want, I could do what I want, I could do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. What changed that to what I am now, which may be much worse or much better, it depends how you look at it, has already begun to happen. The first major event, those shout-outs, has already come to pass. The second, on a fateful day of January the 20th, 2013, shall be discussed in depth in the following show. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in to VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. We really do thank you for tuning in. It is greatly appreciated, all of your support. Hey, if you're feeling up to it, feel free to send me a message. Let me know how the show is going. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just to see how things are going over here at the Report of the Week, right? Feel free to hit me up, send me a message, and remember, feedback is always appreciated. We have our fan mail segment, beginning of every single show. If, though, you would rather me write to you personally, let me know. I'll be able to find some time if you want a more private reply or what have you. Let me know. Let it be known in your message, and I shall do so. And also, understand if you want those 2 screenshots of my early channel to really get a good grasp of what it was like in 2012, which has been the main focus of our lectures for the past few days. Please, let me know in your next fan mail. Let me know. Just say, whatever. Would you be able to send me those 2 screenshots of your early channel? And I gladly will. I will respond to you, hopefully promptly. And that'll be that. So if you want them, let me know, and they shall be provided. We are now 1 hour and 6 minutes into our broadcast. The current time is 2:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for listening. And this is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing off.